Peace, peace, and blessings, family. I'm your sister Nefera, Minister of Learning and Development, also your Pan-African Transformational Coach, and I'm here with you today from Source of Knowledge in celebration of Newark Arts 2020. And we'll be having a source session. I'm going to let you come in for some sound therapy. We're going to go ahead and connect on the Feel Me EP, the one of 3 books of poetry, and this is our sound therapy culminating project. So we're going to begin in the African tradition of libations. So take the travel with me. Peace and blessings. And stick with me. I'll be right back.
We honor the divine essence and all forces of good from within the universe. Ashe. We the divine spirit in high places that has brought forth divine intelligence and harmony. Ashe. We honor Mama Africa, our land, and central cradle of all humanity. Ashe. We honor our ancestors from across space and time, their knowledge, strength, sacrifice, blood, tears, and determination that has brought us forward. Ashe. We stand boldly in the balance for the responsibility and protection of all of our children and our children's children. Ashe. We honor ourselves and every African from Al Kebalan who has embarked on this journey of becoming and behaving upright in the manifestation and maintenance of our legacy. Ashe. We humbly ask for the blessing, protection, and guidance of the divine and our ancestors. Through this plane, traveling the world, encountering adversity, we honor our ancestors. Ashe, 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 Ashe.
So peace, family. So that was our libations. This project is a culminating of 3 books of poetry. And my contribution to the space is the cleansing, the healing, the journeying through, so that we move into actionable, implementable, and immediately applicable steps towards our liberation, our personal liberation, and the liberation of the African body, the diaspora. So this is a sound therapy that you're traveling through on the journey of our shared experiences. I happen to be somewhat of the catalyst, but some of the stories are my own. Some are told from the prism of other individuals within our social landscape, within our African experience, our cultural experience. So just take this journey with me. And coming up is a really powerful piece called Angry Black Man. Stick with me. After the piece plays, I'll come right back. Again, we're at Source of Knowledge for Newark Arts Festival 2020. Stick with me, your sister Nefera. Angry Black Man. Feel me?
A beautiful smile with jolly and charismatic energy, a charmer and fair he was with a voice of sultry, smooth songs. But that was wrong of his play on the upbeat, jitterbug type tempo that was traditionally Sam Cooke's cadences. Yeah, my favorite paternal uncle, as uncles should be, the ones who step in when their brothers falter or die either physically or figuratively, neglecting their responsibilities to their own in the way of African values. There would be still a loving protector, near to rear, and support with wise words and counsel. The beautiful, angry black man, my favorite uncle, because he got me. And he exposed his true face, the one generally so difficult for a black man. Many would rather cut off their right arm than give in to the temptation of what was called weakness. It was being vulnerable and admitting that they don't have all the answers, or that they were wrong, or that they had dropped the ball, or as angry would sometimes well up in that beautiful black man, as the vulnerable frustrations of being defenseless would frequently announce itself inside of his soul, and that the walls he hits trying to build himself up hit back and harder and more often, as he recognizes that he is no fair, is as he buckles a little more day by day to the weight of the pressures of those them, they, them, the oppressors on the job. And he would tell me the stories of the days working in sanitation and the encounters with police and routine traffic stops, when despite his clean, always sharp and upright stature as a Mason and a God-fearing man, he was still but a big, beautiful, angry black man. He sang Sam Cooke ballads nearly as well as good old brother Sam himself. Good, angry black man was Sam one. We don't know, but we sure can be certain that he wouldn't be happy to be set up and robbed and shot by his Dayton kinfolk and paid off by Uncle Sam's agents right at the prime of his career and at a pivotal time for every African as they are becoming, just as he had learned to express his very own authenticity. My God, good old brother Sam brings to mind my favorite uncle. You know, he got me. That was how we bonded. It was how I learned to trust an adult man for the first time. My young years were riddled with dishonorable black men, friend, family, foe, to say the least. And he learned of this in our conversations. He cried a terrifying cry. I was deeply sad and scared too, to see a grown man cry because his very bravado and integrity was called to charge. And there he knew that he had not the courage to answer it. Ironically, the beautiful, angry black man, my favorite uncle of that day, we spoke up never again. And I never called him forward to prove his love, dedication, and integrity to me by standing for me and defending my innocence. I thought it would have been cruel and too horrible to force him to do what I knew he couldn't. He just sought in the midst of his own journey of becoming. He made his effort to heal me and himself through our long and intense conversations. My favorite uncle. He got me. He was my saving grace. A mini day as he secretly but publicly became somewhat a shield and accountability partner. He knew that whatever I had done, I was within my rights. He would say, we failed you, and your father will be well one day, and he will look out for you. The beautiful, angry black man felt his hands tied on the few times he tried to chastise me. It was for the show, because he couldn't bear to bring himself to it. He would remember the day the beautiful, angry black man wailed in agony, simply because he knew what needed to be done to right the wrongs, but couldn't do it at least 2 times. Secretly, he held that day as a memory, but the funny thing about memories, they always remember you. I love my favorite paternal uncle, standing in, somewhat father, Uncle Ike. I will always remember your counsel. Beautiful, angry, black.
Peace, family. Listen, so that was Angry Black Man, dedicated to my uncle, but we know that African men experience this type of perception in the world today. To me, he was a beautiful black man. To the world, he's an angry black man. His experiences, no matter what he was doing, regardless to what, he was an upstanding man. I admired him for so many different reasons. I've been singing Change Gonna Come. I was born by the river since I was 13 years old because of my uncle. Singing Sam Cooke. That song carried me through many days of Great Depression. So remember, family, we just came through World Mental Health Month. So let's be with that family. Let's not stigmatize good mental health. And this is the Feel Me EP of the Queen Deferred, a volume, 3 volumes of poetry, but this is the EP called Feel Me. So feel me, family. And we're going to move it to our next track, Habari Gani. Habari Gani? No. No, you're going to hear At a Glance. You're going to hear At a Glance, family. So remember, the EP itself is available on Kesy2SOAR.com/feel me. Kesy2SOAR.com/feel me. And we're going to hear the next track, the sound therapy session, source session at the Source of Knowledge for Newark Arts Festival 2020. Get into this at a glance.
Blow the wind, and in the soul of my brothers, the containing force, I unleash his chain, and blow off the gunk that took so much over so much time. Those scrapes that are shining truths of a journey gone by. Pained through wounds lit, determined a new you, his glorious crown and shining light of the divine that reaches the center, his African center. At that moment, when I shared a momentary stare with my brother, I found a peace. I saw in his eyes a brother of his shared journey. He is my brother on these next steps into unknown and uncharted territory. For a moment, that wasn't a snare or hateful glare, but a true and honest God-given share. It was for sure like a seat on the train that gave relief to aching feet. Something kind of like when you take off your shoes and step into your slippers. But blood, remember, it was my brother's share, eye to eye. That felt like the heat that hits your face when you walk in Grandma's house after a long walk from the train station for the dinner of Thanksgiving, steadfast of mind through the winter news warnings of a blizzard, appending announcements, plus the sharp grazing of icy snowflakes, when the mac and cheese drizzled in hot sauce kept your mind warm, but not your hands, feet, or face. That share, not glare, that momentary peace and ease of knowing, hey brother, peace God, you stay fortified, hold tep, assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam, my brother. We shared a moment, my brother, for one to another. I am sending you love, you are my brother, and I honor you.
Peace, peace, family. So that was At a Glance. And it speaks to the relationships between African people across the diaspora. It speaks to how we have this unspoken language that's supposed to represent comfort, where you look at your brother or your sister and know that you're safe. Due to survival circumstances, we look at our brother and we automatically get into a place of hostility and frustration. What you looking at? That used to be a thing back in the 90s. Right. Looking at, you know me, you know me. Like, I could just be looking at you to say, what's up, my brother? What's up, sister, peace, queen? So we get to address our anti-Blackness within our community. There's trained behavior that we have now adopted out of being pit against one another for crumbs. Remember, anything you get in the matrix, it's all temporary. It's all the matrix. We're only as strong as our weakest link. If one of us wins, we all have to win. Because even if one of us wins, none of us actually wins because the impact impacts us all. So let's look on our brothers and sisters with loving eyes. Let's embrace them with safety. We get to give one another and nourish one another with the nourishing love of intention. So we're going to go into that next piece. Family, we are at Source of Knowledge for this source session. We're doing this listening sound therapy for the new EP, Feel Me, of the Queen Deferred series of poetry from myself, Nefera. And listen, all that sound you're hearing, the production work was done by HesKa Entertainment, my beautiful husband, Pat P. In his production, he's done an amazing job. So listen, the CD, well, the EP is available. It's available at Kesy2SOAR.com/feel me. So we're going to move on to the next section, our next selection. And it's a different type of sound. So listen to this. Habari Gani, family. Feel me?
Hey, there, truth. Lost brothers down a dismal road. A wandering wild spirit is coming alive, struggling to break free. You, hey, you there. The never-ending political rhetoric that is never the answers you need, always more questions. Just only an unfortunate trip on a dramatic roller coaster ride with all the pitfalls, peaks, and valleys of some very real novellas, keeping in step with a governmental experience that looks a lot like the Jerry Springer show. It's your life for you to make of it, or fake of it, or steal it, if you can, wield it. A false sense of pride that is never quite enough. It never quite touches that sweet spot that is just me, that fine and okay. The reward and accolade that comes simply because you are worthy, just because you are here. Because your heart beats and your delightful heart gives forth love, unrelenting love, unabridged love. You receive rewards and you are honored as a valued member of our tribe. The tribe that loves you, the tribe that lifts you, your tribe. Your tribe sings your song. Your tribe that calls you forward. Your tribe that cements your stations and protects you, your tribe. The real truth is, if you had to tap dance for it, or did the jig shuffle to pay homage to, crumbs drop from the master's table when looming in the halls and recesses of your mind. You know if you really show up in your glove or stand straight in this crooked room, you would be publicly flogged or berated for your treasonous protests, your disallegiance to this flag of these ununited States of America. This America that stole you from you, that caused that precious boy to despise his neighbor, gun violence, black on black crime, as this falseness to derive a person whipped into his soul, driven on a will, any will, to do anything, to create a thing, to protect. No, he has no-ness into the shaping of anything left, anything to find a name for himself and pleaded for his worthiness and identity, his knownness, and the friendly neighborhood priest, rabbi, minister, preacher, leader, those deemed shepherd, the one that decided to curse her womb and teach it to others under the guise of religious doctrine, insistently calling it God's will, when how a just God created all things and declared that it was all good. Does she end up thrown to the side, discarded, and her royal crown stripped away forever? stripped away in pain to feel this room, these walls, to feel this illness, this nothingness, if only to kind of sort of find a worthiness in relationship to a man. And they all steep deep in depression and anger to the lack of a master to call them their glory. This America, these ununited states of America that holds these truths to be self-evident with a lack of evidence. That factory experiment, science lab created food not fit for human consumption, but will undoubtedly change your biometrics, sending you from here to there, and you arrive in a foreign land where you are unrecognizable in your own skin, and yet you have no idea how you got there. That small towns could raise capital, money by hosting private prisons, and then be federally traded on the premise of how many of your father's sons and daughters are on the shelves of those prisons. We know. So because your government guarantees the shelves stay stocked with your brothers and sisters, our leaders and others unjustly, wrongfully, and simply through conspiracy because the trickle-down states at local precincts, lock them up, you got quotas. This America that failed to vindicate its stolen citizens, whom till this day are tortured souls, refusing to give them their sovereignty. Hey, you there, my sister, I see you. Sawubona. Habari gani in Swahili, it says, what's the good news? Well, beloved sweetness, you are the good news. Your delightful heart, your strong and beautiful, delightful heart that gives forth love, love, unrelenting love, love, unabridged love, agape, the tender heart that remembers, it remembers your song, it remembers your journey. You arrived, you here under dire straits, but Ashe and Asheo, you are here, Habari Gani. You are the good news. Because on any day, one step towards your royalty is truth. You remember the safety of the vibration, the strength of your family. You know within your mind's eye, throw down your chains, relinquish these restricted walls, stretch forth your wings and fly, soar. Habari Gani, you are the good news. The lowness of those fleshy desires and short-sighted selves, though they mask themselves as pain relievers, are actually painful prisons. Asheo, in place for the purposes, ordered fairness and honor. No longer take up this deception. Realign yourselves in love. Agape, release your truthful selves where the power of creation arrives. Asheo, in Ma'at. Stand and let you rise above the pity of temptation in this temporary travel. Each moment when you, God, Goddess, when you whisper softly to your soul, when you peel it away one layer at a time. Habari Gani, what's the good news? The good news is you. Let no thing or no one take you from your divine birthright. Make the road straight. Make the soul upright. Align this crooked room and then rejoice blissfully, children at play. The fathers that are strong and powerful, healthy and committed, stand upright as pillars and examples of integrity everywhere. Call forth with your words and loving hearts, royal queens of stature and dignity, class and grace, warrior queens with beauty and a tender touch and a sultry voice that delivers comfort, heals, nourishes, and guides. Asheo, Habari Gani, you are the good news. All things fair and equitable. And we say God, Ashe, Asheo, you are the difference. Yes. Awaken and sleep no more.
Peace, family. So that was Habari Gani. Ah, that's some sound therapy here. So I brought this in to kind of show you guys this. The sound is, it's textured sound, sounds of the motherland, sounds of intention, coming in various chords, healing chords, sound therapy at 432 megahertz, at various cleansing and restorative sound frequency with intention. And this is a kalimba. It has similar frequency as you hear in the music. Habari Gani is the good news, African. You are the good news. There's no one to wait for. You are enough. You are the good news. So that is like my love song and my intention for our community across the diaspora and for humanity as a whole. So family, we're here for Newark Arts Festival 2020 at Source of Knowledge for this Source session. I'm your sister Nefera, your Minister of Learning and Development, Pan-African Transformational Coach, your author and poet. And I'm here with HesKa Entertainment, my beloved husband, Pav P. He did the production work on the sound with a great intention, our collaboration. And in just a little while, we're going to bring in one of our owners here at Source of Knowledge, tell us about this incredible space, which is the Source Knowledge. We began African to rebuild, to reconstruct our consciousness, to take away what's not working, build on what will work through our journey for knowledge. So here at the Source of Knowledge, Newark Black-owned bookstore out here. So we're going to go ahead and to our next selection. So know that this is the Kesy2SOAR, produced the project, the EP, Feel Me, under the guise of Maya Angelou's intention. People forget what you said, people forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So African, with all of your activities and all the things you do, know that your behavior impacts other people. Know that there are repercussions and there are intentions that occur with your behavior. So know that you're making someone feel whether you are aware of it or not. Volume 1 of Queen Deferred had a poem called The Trail of Broken Hearts. There are so many things that within our community, due to our bad behaviors, we impact one another differently with disappointment, and we leave behind a trail of broken hearts on our journey for self. So let's make it an intention to be careful and to make one another feel in the ways that we want to feel. So African, let's get into this next one. This next track is called Walk in Light. Peace and blessings. Check out the project at www.Kesy2SOAR.com/Feel Me EP. Feel Me EP. Walk in Light. Let's check it out.
I am the woman who lights the darkness. I have come to light the darkness with
me. It's a Miss Valerie.
Peace, family. So we are live from the Source of Knowledge here for Newark Arts Festival 2020. And we're going through the sound therapy of the Feel Me EP. It is the fourth project in association with the Queen Deferred series, A Poetic Journey, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. So the EP was the culminating project, is a healing sound therapy that chronicles the travel of evolution, independent evolution, as well as personal evolution, and the individual becoming the difference that is different through the travel of becoming. So this is a culminating project. So walk in light. I am writing from me. I am saying I'm walking in light. But when you hear the piece and when you read the poem in the Queen Deferred Volume 3, because that poem is also in the book, you will then be the individual who is carrying the light. It is every African's duty to master self, make oneself the greatest contribution to the whole. So African, we're going to go ahead and take in the outro to the EP, and then we're going to go ahead and switch it over, and you're going to talk with our sister from Source of Knowledge, and you're going to hear from Path P later on in the production. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Remember, the EP is available at www.Kesy2SOAR.com/Feel Me EP. We are live at Source of Knowledge for this Source session. Check out the Feel Me EP outro.
In the series of A Queen Deferred, A Poetic Journey volumes, each expresses the journey and experiences of walking through a world that overtly and covertly rejects the very existence of African people. This factor has seen and unseen impacts, wherein the journey to becoming whole requires awareness, courage, and is one of great intention and determination. The final installment continues to be the catalyst and champion of the message of healing and protest, as it unlocks generational traumas and gives voice to being seen and acknowledged by oneself and others. The proverbial queen, representing herself, her people, and their legacy, is no longer deferred, but present and awakened to the divine within, and most importantly, actively embodying being the difference and being the healer as a daily practice and walk of integrity. A queen and deferred no more.
Peace, family. So this was a wrap. And thank you for taking this journey with me. Your sister Nefera, Learning and Development Minister, the Pan-African Transformational Coach, author, and business coach. We're here at Source of Knowledge for this Source session in celebration of Newark Arts 2020. And we're going to hear from the Source of Knowledge, one of the owners here, our sister Masana. She'll be ready to talk with you soon. But we're going to do a little bit of a break, and then we're going to come back in. So stick with me, and we'll be right back. Remember that project is available on www.Kesy2SOAR.com/Feel Me EP. Feel Me EP. This project was blessed and forwarded by our great elder and academic scholar, Malemu Baruti of the Jacobin Institute. I want to give him a special shout out and love and send him positive energy and restoration and continued endurance for his projects and the many texts that he's given us, because he's given this community 36 books. and numerous speeches, numerous engagement opportunities to forward the community. And he's definitely one of my mentors, my intentional mentors, my spiritual mentors, and particularly one of the books that he gave called Menticide. So you want to check in with what's not working African. So let's remember our Baba, an elder, an academic scholar, Malembu Baruti of the Akoban Institute. He and his wife founded the School for African-Centered Consciousness and elevating and inspiring the internal genius in African people. This space that we're living in, this social construct cannot take away what is innately in our DNA code. All we need is a proper nourishment, and we all flourish. So you flourish, you pour into another African, that African flourishes, that African pours into another African, that African flourishes, that African pours into another African, and then that African flourishes. That is our greatest defense, African, in this journey of liberation and freedom for our minds, bodies, our land, and our future. Don't take it and save it. Don't take it and hoard it. Don't keep it for yourself. Scarcity is an illusion, family. Scarcity is an illusion. Remember, we're live here, Source of Knowledge, on Black-owned bookstore in Newark, out here in these Source streets. So, family, we're here for the Source session. You have just heard my project, Nefera Hesire Lawton, your Minister of Learning and Development, your sister, your Pan-African Transformational Coach. Having you just be all in this, feel me, family. And listen, the sound was produced by Path P through HesKa Entertainment. So all that sound therapy composition was a very intentional collaboration of healing so that we as a collective pour into other Africans. So share the project. Grab the project, share the project. It's also on Spotify and iTunes for you, for your listening pleasure and travel. So family, I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over. So give me a quick second and we'll be right back. Again, Newark Arts Festival 2020. But peace, family. Now, for our two my auntie right here, source of knowledge for your source session. Madam,
How you
we're
doing?
listen, we're live, so we're gonna do these live things.
I
You
know.
gotta get that phone, family,
That's right.
because that's what happens when it's live. Get into it. Okay, get into the vibe, baby. Feel me?
That was my nephew. So, hey, family, this is Masani from Source of Knowledge. I'm one of the owners here. Welcome to Newark Arts Festival 2020.
Yes.
It's so exciting to be a part of this and just to be here today. We need this.
Yes.
It's so the spoken word, the word, music, all of that is needed during this time for our own sanity, your own personal sanity. And I appreciate sister and brother here doing it and coming to Source of Knowledge. Sister Nefera.
Yes.
You know I love you.
Me and you, we in this together. Family.
Yes.
So we want to just talk a little bit about Source of Knowledge. Just give the family a little background. So we get a little background on the Source of Knowledge. Find out if we got anything coming up next. What's in their hopes in the near future for Source of Knowledge? An invitation to the family. Come on in.
I know. There's so much that we would love to have going on.
Yeah.
But due to COVID, it's really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But we are, Source of Knowledge has been in the city of Newark for over 30 years.
Give thanks.
Okay. First started out as A&B Books, and then when we moved over here to Broad Street, changed our name and to Source of Knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been working to make sure that our children and our people have literacy and literature that they can read about them, for them, so that we can grow. We need this for ourselves. This is essential for our own health. People just don't understand. We need to make sure our children have books that look like them, that they can understand, that gives them text that they comprehend and know that they're reading for their own edification, opposed to because someone is mandating.
That's right.
We as a people need to be able to have literature knowing that it's written by us, health, mental health, wealth, all kinds of every gambit in our history.
That's right.
We don't know. There's so much. We have all our history in these books.
Yes.
And we're not the ones that are partaking in this knowledge enough. Many of us are, but not enough, so that we can move on and grow more abundantly as a people.
Good thing.
So Source of Knowledge was created just for that, just to make sure that
and that's a great source to be praised for. Yes.
So that we have a venue for us, for melanated people.
That's right.
To be able to have a place, not only just a bookstore, but have a safe haven, a place to clear your mind, a place to do some spoken word, a place to have strong dialect between people about substance. Okay. We like to call our upstairs our little community center, because prior to COVID, we did just that. We had lectures, we had yoga, we had workshops. I think that's where we met. You know how much I missed it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed my women's workshops. Yes. But we had even had poetry, the spoken Women Speak with Sister Amira. Oh my God, that was so good. But don't worry, this doesn't stop us, because we're moving on. But one of the things we definitely used to do also was our read and feed for the children, where we give out the breakfast meals all day, free food donated by the eateries from downtown here, and then when we give them books. Each child would leave with about $20 worth of books for free. Everything's for free. So with COVID, it's been kind of difficult trying to figure out how we're going to do this. I'm about to try and work with the Newark Y and partner up for Halloween, because we need to get some books in our children. They're at home, they're on these virtual, they're on these computers. They need to touch something besides the send button. Okay.
Yes.
So
what if the youth?
Yes, right. So we gotta work with that. I have that coming up hopefully by the end of the month. You know what I have been doing? a virtual book club for the children.
Okay.
Every Saturday at 4:00 on WebEx.
Okay.
Book we're talking about this month is Ghost Boys, and which is I hate to give away the book, but it's a little boy who gets it's almost like the Tamir Rice story. But his soul doesn't leave the earth, and the only person who can see him and hear him are other ghost boys. It's like a whole community.
Okay.
But the cop who shot him, the cop's daughter is the one that he can talk to and see him.
Wow.
And so he talks with her. But in order for him, because he's like, let me leave, let me talk to my family, let me go away from here. The person who has to help him, everybody needs to transition into what they
That's right.
Who is his mentor? Emmett Till. The ghost of Emmett Till. It is awesome.
That's incredible.
So our children not only read about the mindsets and what's happening in today's life, but he also gets a history lesson of who Emmett Till is. And it's an awesome.
That's awesome. Who's the author? You have the author?
What is that? Jewel Rhodes.
Jewel Rhodes. Okay.
Jewel Rhodes. That's her.
Ghost Boys, guys. Get into that.
Get that book and join us. Join us on Saturdays at 4:00. Free. Only thing I ask is that you buy the book from us.
Oh. Can't beat that, family. That's an exchange. That's my odd family. You take a little, you give a little.
It is.
That's a blessing. Give thanks.
But everything else we have some construction going on when we finish here.
Well, growing. Construction is growth, beloved.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it's growing. So give thanks.
Since we can't get them together here, we're gonna open this space up so we got more of us in this space.
That's right.
You know, into exchanging. We're gonna eventually have our own little tiny desk. I don't know.
Please believe it. We're here for it. We're here for the tiny desk.
You know, when we have our grand opening, I think y'all should come back and do some music for us.
We're ready for you. We're ready for you, sis.
You know,
we're ready for you.
So we got a lot, a few little things, and as we maneuver our way through this, we'll come up with more stuff because our holidays are coming up. That Kwanzaa, how we're going to be able to really fellowship with one another. That's what we want to be able to do. Because Kwanzaa is about how you've grown and your growth throughout the year. So what have we implemented? And I think we as a people, through this pandemic, has really helped us to grow closer, build more bonds, and be so creative.
Yes.
I look at stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I want to do that. I see on Facebook and people coming up with different things. I'm like, our people are so creative, so innovative. Yes. So I'm like, hey.
Habari Ghani, you're the good news African.
That's right. So I love that we put our karubas together and develop it. And so Sonala, we just want to make sure we are part of it. So please stay focused and stay with us.
Our sister Masani, Source of Knowledge. We're live, family. Newark Arts Festival 2020. I'm here, your sister Nefera. We're at Soundbytes. We're gonna take in our brother Path P, my beloved husband, and he's gonna bring you some more sound therapy to fortify your African mind. Stick with us. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, everybody. As you know, we are here at Source Knowledge Bookstore out here in Newark for the Newark Arts Festival 2020. I am, of course, Path, P-A-T-H-P, in position at the highest point, aka Hesire, host of Soundbytes International Radio, of course, with lovely Queen Nefera. Make sure, once again, that you go get that a Queen Deferred Feel Me EP is available now. We worked in the spirit of it, in the heart of it. I produced the project. Of course, Nefera's voice lends the power to the landscape. So we do encourage you to take that in, download it today, consume it, experience it, share your experiences with us, share your thoughts with us. We always appreciate feedback for the art. You know how us artists do, right? So definitely download that today. Kesy2SOAR.com, KEYS2SOAR.com/feelmeep to download that today. Let us know what's up, family. Again, my name is Path, P-A-T-H-P, and I'm going to do a couple pieces for y'all today. We're here in your source of knowledge. We're in a space where this knowledge is in abundance, right? It also speaks to kind of how the soundscape is represented. So I'm going to do a couple pieces that are bit poetic, a bit, mixture of different things off of a couple of my projects. So this first piece I'm going to do is called Be Alright 2.0. And this is off my project, my EP, right? Revolution Legacy Volume 1 of the Revolution. And basically this piece speaks to the idea or the concept of the belief system that, despite everything that's going on in our world, despite all the ills and the traumas that we do experience, whether as Africans here in American soil or just worldwide, in the face of, this systemic oppression and this American administration, governmental system, all these things, and being honest about addressing these issues. Despite these things happening, right? It's good to be mindful of self-mastery and be control of your space that you're in, and in that, no matter what, you're gonna be all right. Trusting in yourself, trusting your process. So this piece is called Be All Right. So sit tight, take it in. Hope you enjoy. Under the light of the moonrise, I find solace in the glow. Trying my best not to be consumed with what the night brings. All the heartbreak, the scars, the looming bouts of depression brought on by mass oppression and rising aggressions. As various backgrounds are thrown for loops and falling victim to voter and vocal suppression. See, feelings can no longer remain tame, dipping and diving in and out of consciousness. Amidst the crazy world that's fast asleep, like 3 a.m., yet life moves like rush hour, and you're left praying it doesn't escape. I'm just racing time, trying not to lose my mind. So we fight to survive. We gon' be alright. We gon' be all. The story ended, lost in the fray. My dreams ain't what I thought. Feel my mind mislead. A stranger in the land where my hand was heavy. Now my heart weighs even more. There's a time of need. Signs ain't enough. Feels like rhymes ain't enough. Trying not to succumb to the pressure of the garden grows weed. No one feels safe. Aim to create within fate. Drill down the wheel of the masses, making America great. It's no wars here, just big voices in here. Growing African minded, we will not be divided. From Mexican to Yemenis, man, he's standing behind us. Muslim, Buddhists, and Baptists, the divine way will guide us. My Latinos y Latinas, you're my brothers, my sisters, my people. Solo quiero difundir el amor contigo. Black, brown, and Asian, you and I are the nation. All is in the middle, let's demolish the hatred. I'm just racing time. Yeah. Trying not to lose my mind. Though we fight to survive, we gon' be alright. We gon' be all. We can stand to love much more than we are right now. Love ourselves. It's self-love that properly ignites the love of others. Once we get clear, we can see ourselves in others. God in me sees and respects the God in you. We really are all the same, though we may look different. We share experiences, thoughts, emotions across the diaspora, across humanity. The human in me sees the human in you. See, freedom starts in the mind, the heart, tandem, working for something tangible. And it is theirs who choose to see it. See, we're so long programmed to be in need or think we are in need, when in actuality we are all in need. What the world's been waiting for. Let's believe, my friends, you are divinely made. I'm just wasting time, trying not to lose my mind. Though we fight to survive, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Yeah. We gon' be alright. Just believe, family. We gon' be alright for sure. So again, that piece is called Be Alright 2.0. Off my EP, which is called Revolution Legacy Volume 1. The Revolution is available now on all streaming platforms, on major streaming platforms, as well as pathpmusic.com. Make sure you visit my website, www.pathpmusic.com, for all my content, and all of videos, music, and more of my latest production work as well. We live here, Source of Knowledge. So make sure if you're ever in learning and growth. So I have another piece here, which is off my latest EP, called Black Wonderland, right? Which I did in response. I self-produced, right? I got into COVID and everything has kind of ignited a new creative experience, a creative energy. So during that time of honing my skills on our production more, and then taking ownership, self-mastery of creation, right? So Black Wonderland was a response to kind of everything that's been going, not kind of, but emphatically response to everything that's been taking place in the social landscape over the past few months. With George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and then the numerous amounts of things that have been taking place, protests and this kind of new awakening that's been taking place. So Black Wonderland was made in response. A 4-track EP available now on all music streaming platforms, as well as on my website. And once again, pathpmusic.com is available there now. So this track is one of my favorite tracks personally. It's called Nina. Each of the tracks are labeled after a particular civil rights leader, Nina Simone, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, and James Baldwin, who I chose to highlight in name and in energy and in memory and in ancestral nature. And this track in particular is called Nina. And Nina was one of she had that in this way of being that was just like unapologetically herself, and empowering and just like raw, but so beautiful in the way she presented her art and herself and her identity as an African woman. And so it was only right that I included her name and included a piece in her name on this project. So this is Nina. So check it out. We're here. Newark Arts Festival 2020, Source of Knowledge, FP, Kesy2SOAR, and also HesKa Music Entertainment. We're in the building right here on Soundbytes International, live on our Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. So Nina said, how can I not reflect the times? I am a child of the zeitgeist. I be remiss in not holding line. Reels before me are fading. They either dead or they sick and tired. So who gon' hold stories of truth not so self-evident in the face of my people's trials? Young man, old man shot down. Daughter, sister, or brother slammed to the ground. Now my people can't breathe because they fighting for their life and their mother sleep. But the black dollar screams, having them daily nightmares. Can't even shop white women going full can. On my black ass, their brothers darker than me, don't mean you might pass. Back off or I go again, dog speaking language they might understand. Since the cries of repression and pain don't resonate, don't know how else to make it simple and plain. Won't hesitate to call a cop, hashtag to my name. Cause you see my black skin as a threat. That melanin, I'm as rich as it gets. So they all want a piece of the strange fruit. Swimming in the breeze when they can't even shoot. Ancestors said they don't be right back. I'm their wildest dreams. Ain't no question I'm gonna fight back. The vibes don't lie when I lift my fist high. If another brother die, we gon' light this shit on fire. That's no lie. Want peace? They just want blood. Want us to tap dance, but I do the Kanye shrug. America ain't been great, try to make me hate the ones I love. Monster Musa shot the Zulu, Malcolm X, they the plug. That's what's up. Listen. Nina said, what's freedom? No freedom. I felt that. So be clear. 2020, Brianna swear this was her year. We should be running with a mind, not form. Why is death the reason the world? So George Floyd, Sean Freed, Deshaun Bell been living in hell. National Nation had us all fall under the spell. In the land of the sea, home of the depraved. 150 years later, we configured the slave. Billionaire status, still a nigga in the eyes of those in blue badges. Then they wonder why we bear arms. It's hate that you give to our babies. Killing dads with the moms going crazy. Systematic deconstruction of a people. Freedom gonna ring. I said, come go see you. Yeah, they gon' be right back. I'm they wildest dreams. Ain't no question I'm gon' fight back. The vibes don't lie when I lift my fist high. If another brother die, we gon' light this shit on fire. They don't want peace, they just want blood. Want us to tap dance, but I do the Kanye shrug. America ain't been great, trying to make me hate the ones I love. Monster Musa shot the Zulu, Malcolm X, they the plug. That's what's up. Yeah. This one's a dedicated once again to to Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Sean Reed, David McCaddy, Tony McDade, Sean Bell, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown. Like, this list should not be going on. Rayshard Brooks, so many. Elijah McClain, right? All those lost unjustly to the system, police brutality, and everything in between. That's by design to have us pitted against each other and destroying each other. So that one was called Nina. Once again, off of Black Wonderland. It's my EP is available now on streaming platforms, as well as pathpmusic.com, pathpmusic.com. So please make sure you cop that and share your reflections with me as well. Again, I am Path P here at Source of Knowledge bookstore out in right here, Source Knowledge in Newark, the black-owned bookstore, the only black-owned bookstore in Newark. So please make sure you come out and support if you are in Newark or to make an intention to come out to Newark. It's a beautiful store, beautiful energy here. So family is here, community is here, that's for sure. So I want to get another piece. One more piece, and then we'll wrap things up here. Appreciate Newark Arts for creating a space and time for artists to be free and cultivate their own experiences for people and curate their own experiences for people and show the power and the beauty in art that exists in Newark. Newark is for artists, that's for sure. So we appreciate the energy here in the community. And this last piece is off one of my second album called Indigo, which is available also now on streaming platforms and on pathpmusic.com. And this is a poem that spoke deeply to me, again, around the time, that was 2016, not too long after everything that was taking place with Mike Brown and Trayvon and all these different pieces. So it spoke a lot to me to share this piece. So this is called, and also Delron Small, who still has not received justice. Particularly around that time, Delron Small and, Alton Sterling and Philando Castile, just a lot, just back to back. It's like, we deal with a lot with our community, and I'd be remiss to hold the line and speak as an artist on it, as again Rita Simone said, the legendary ancestor. So this piece is called "I Am Marble," and feel it. I am a marvel. I am art in motion. I am culture incarnate. I am my people with every step, with every breath. I write with the voice of Garvey. I paint with the fight of Malcolm. I adjusted my lens to the vision of Martin. My heart beats with the passion of Hampton, the love of Stokely. I am a marvel. All right, family. So just realize I might have had technical difficulties. So once again, I would appreciate all of you for joining us. Everyone that is able to tune in. Thank you for Newark Arts Festival, Newark Arts for creating a space for artists to grow and curate their experiences for sure, and for having an opportunity for us to be here and to share the energy of Source Knowledge Bookstore right here. In the heart of Newark, New Jersey, Black-owned bookstore, only Black-owned bookstore in New Jersey. So once again, appreciate you, Path P, PATHP, position at the highest point. For all my content, once again, it's pathpmusic.com. Make sure you also visit HesKa, HESKA music.com for more from my imprint, which is geared towards creating a space and a platform for quality arts, for quality artists to share in their voices unapologetically, independently, and powerfully. So please visit there and just check out more from HesKa Music Entertainment. And yours truly, Pat P. Nefera Kesy2SOAR, KEYS2SOAR.com. And we're gonna get into this last piece once again. I'll deliver it, and hope you enjoy.
Let me go upstairs. I'm gonna go upstairs. This is the outside. The last one you get, right? Okay.
I have something to come back to.
Yes, ma'am.
This one is called I Am a Marvel. I am a marvel. I am art in motion. I am culture incarnate. I am my people with every step, with every breath. I write with the voice of Garvey. I paint with the fight of Malcolm. I adjusted my lens to the vision of Martin. My heart beats with the passion of Hampton, the love of Stokely. I am a marvel. I am art in motion. And you love me. Yet find peace in the silence of my history. See, we give you love as long as the gap between my knowledge of Western texts and of myself and of my culture remain as wide as the Pacific. Entrenched cognitive dissonance leaves you slave to racially charged disciplines that enslaves and controls the minds and souls of citizens treated as second class in a land built on their backs. You continue to step on the cracks, and Mother Earth is writhing in pain. And though you may make no claim of owning people, it behooves your own clarity that you benefit from a history and a system of ancestors that did. Just my people own the trauma and the scars of the ancestors that were. Of broken necks, charred and dismembered bodies, and babies ripped from wombs as examples of what happens when the complexity of one's complexion is just too threatening to one's election to higher court. But I am a marvel. I am art in motion. And I am love. I am still love. And I live, so they live on. I am culture incarnate. I am my people with every step, with every breath. Ashe family, one love. Newark Arts Festival 2020. We're here at Source of Knowledge Bookstore. Make sure you visit once again, when you're in Newark. Stop through Source Knowledge and get your knowledge on at the source. This is Path P, P-A-T-H-P, also Hesire. Make sure you visit pathpmusic.com, HesKamusic.com, and of course, more content from Nefera at Kesy2SOAR.com, KEYES2SOAR.com. And make sure you follow our podcast, Soundbytes International Radio, each Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter platforms. You can also visit the website at thisissoundbyteswithAY.com. So, one love, family. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.